You know that. Unlike you, who's just wildly throwing your name all over the place.
I mean, at the very least, it's not a common name.
Not even close. And I don't think anyone's gonna remember.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Right after it happened, Liz said, "It's okay. That name was shared with so many people." I was like, "That's true." Hello. Book club is so late this morning. Latest book club ever.
Ever?
Possibly. But that's okay. It's Saturday. Hey, Renee. Oh my God, I'm awake. Hey, Anya, you are awake. Good morning. Morning. How's everyone doing? I heard a rumor that some people need a body double live out of this book club. Is that what we're doing? Is she here? Where's Shelly? Hello. Through good morning to you. Good morning. You can? How? I don't think you can, Renee. How? Huh. Weird. It is 9:27 for me, but we're late because we stayed up until 1 in the morning reconfiguring the slime room. We're not done yet, but we're working on it. And you guys, I redid how the roll for slime add-ins are gonna be done, and I cannot wait to show you. It's so cute. There's going to be new sheets, and then there's going to be one thing that doesn't have a sheet. Surprise! If I were a person who had brain cells, when I am, I laugh in your face when I am. Very funny, Becca. Very funny. Hey, Liz. Woo! Look at that perfect pour. Babe, your coffee is perfection.
You always say perfect coffee, though.
No, I know, but this one is so good looking.
It always looks good, too.
Wait till you see it.
Whoa.
It's got a little hat.
Look at that.
I know. It's pretty amazing. I'm impressed too. Liz says hi. As if you weren't texting literally moments ago. Hi, Shelly. Wait, Shelly, I thought, hey, Grace. You were going to say you don't recognize what? What don't you recognize? Raccoon Liz says good morning as well. I got a soda stream. I should make bubbly coffee. Ooh, oh, the cup. Yeah, I got that cup so that Secret Boyfriend would have his own cup here that is his style, not like my style, you know. As you all found out last night, octopus is his favorite, one of his favorite animals, and so that's why I got an octopus cup. Oh no! Water is of the essence. I need to hear about how you. Yeah. She did end up with the raccoon. It's true. Who has the legs? Is it Grace? Grace, do you have the leg? Or Grace, do you have the meerkat? Who has the leg? Do we know who's got the raccoon's leg? I know Liz has the raccoon. Grace has the meerkat. Shelly has the meerkat legs. But who has the leg? The original leg that started it all. Do we even know? Who wants to play-by-play of my train ride, 103rd Street? Why are you on 103rd Street? I remember someone rolled it, but I don't know if they re-rolled. I missed a bunch of lives and I get none of the comments. That's so sad. I don't know. I'm going to walk this way so that there will be no visible secret boyfriend for anybody. Look at that. I did it. It was magical.
Genius.
I'm gonna put this on the tripod and then you can sit in the comfy chair if you want.
Oh.
Because they can't see you now. Wait, your fireplace is purple. I painted it. I made it purple. Sure, that's funny. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed painting it purple, actually. I had a good time. People thought I was crazy, and then when they saw it in the room, they were like, wait, it works. I was like, yeah, no kidding.
If you had to remove paint from it, how would you do it?
I think you would just paint over it, right?
Fireplace. Well, bricks have original colors, though.
Oh, it was white when I got it.
Oh.
It wasn't brick.
Gotcha.
I painted over white. It had been painted white by someone else, and so I just painted over it.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess paint remover probably did both layers.
Yeah, maybe. But it had already been painted.
Interesting.
Not by me. I mean, I painted it after, obviously.
Good brick colors to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
Or maybe they were white bricks already. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I can show you the thing of it being done.
Oh, I believe it. I was just curious.
Yeah. Wait, Liz, are you going to Gen Con today or tomorrow? Dan said you should show some ankle and really tease the crowd.
I mean, they're saucy ankles. I don't know if they can handle it.
Oh.
This isn't always slimes.
This is not only slimes. That's
Plus,
for after
you
dark.
show your foot on the internet, it's all over.
I know. If you show feet on the internet, that's 86. Where are you going, Shelly? Scandalous.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. So wait, no, but I'm serious. I cannot wait to show you all what we did yesterday. It's so cool. DSW on 34th. You're going all the way down there just for shoes? I don't know if I would do it. I don't think I'd do it. I think I'd wrap plastic bags around my feet before I'd travel from Harlem to 34th for shoes. I think that's fair. It is a good shoe store. You guys want to see my favorite thing about this cup? Are you ready? Are you ready? Babe, look, ready? Can you see it?
What is that? Is there like a layer of like pink stuff?
She's going like this.
Do it again?
She's a kitten and it's her tongue.
Oh my god. Wow. Where'd you get that?
The Disney store.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
December?
Oh. I've never seen that cup.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's my kitty cup. It's Marie.
Very cute.
Yeah, it is. It's a cute mug. It took him a minute to figure out what was going on. He was looking at me like, what is that? Yeah, for real, Becca. Okay, so we are officially more than halfway through this book. But I guess it's a good thing I got a blind date with a book yesterday. We don't know what our next book's going to be because it's a blind date. Yeah, you are really late on getting this together, Shelly. I had a dream that I was going to Disneyland. You just reminded me. Were you going to Disneyland with me, Grace? Because if not, what were you doing? Secret boyfriend, is it better to go to Disneyland with me or without me?
I've never gone without you, but I wouldn't go without you. So, yes, obviously with you. I've been to Disney World without you. It wasn't that fun.
No, see. Becca, blind date with a book and roll for reading are very similar. The roll for reading is a blind date with a book. It's just randomized. Yeah. Okay. So we are on chapter 14. I just woke up and flew straight to Disneyland. I bet you were there already. You're right, Grace. I was waiting for you there. I have shipping for my roll for reading. But you do? Did you get one last week or did you get one this week? You already got yours. Is already shipped? Oh, you did last week. Did she post yours yet? Will you tag us in yours when you get your video? I want to see. It has to be, doesn't it? Doesn't she have to post it? Isn't that like the whole thing? We are reading Land of Stories, Book 3, and we are on Chapter 14. I'm going to start right now. It's called, dun dun dun, The Armée Arrives. Connor was spinning through a world of light. It was so bright that he could barely see anything. He couldn't hear the sound of his own voice either. All he heard was the air rushing around him. Occasionally he saw Bree or Emmerich fly past him. Really, Liz? How does that work? Huh. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, though. Because then what's the point? Then it would just be like a blind date with a book. That's weird. Well, I know that our book club one is for sure getting posted because we talked about it. Huh. Weird. Because, like, that's the whole thing with Roll for Slime. You either get a video or a live, one of the two, so that you get to watch it happen. Like, that's part of the experience of it, right? I assume. I can too, Liz. We were messaging this morning, so I can ask if you want. And I can tell her that you're in the book club, if that's helpful. You can tell her that you're in the book club. I can tell her that you're in the book club. Gotta see if the bank can give me pounds. You have to order them in advance, Shelly. Order them in advance. Liz, will you remind me when I'm not on live because you know that my brain is lacking spoons? Shelly, what you gotta place an order like in the app and then they'll be there for pickup. Yeah, okay. He knew that they were in the space between dimensions. He had been there before when he and his sister traveled through the Land of Stories book 2 years ago. It only seemed to be taking much longer than it had last time. Connor saw a flash and felt something bright. I don't know how to read anymore, you guys. I've lost the sense of how to read. Do you want to read?
Yeah.
You want to do the reading?
Okay.
This is great. This is my favorite moment of the day.
It's real hard.
Over here.
Where are you at?
Top of the... I lost
Connor
my sense.
saw a flash and felt something brush up. I can't read it. I screwed up exactly the same spot.
It's a hard sentence, right? Connor saw a flash and felt something brush by him as if he were falling through a curtain. The next... Ellie's upset because she isn't wearing her butterfly swimsuit that she doesn't even... You know what? I love that kid so much. Becca has a daughter that's like me and Zoe. Like, she's like super girly, like she only wants unicorns and whatever. And apparently she's having a meltdown right now because she isn't wearing a butterfly swimsuit, but she doesn't own a butterfly swimsuit.
Yeah, but she should own one.
Right.
So
No, I get it. Listen, I understand.
I get it.
The plight is hard. When you're 3 and you don't have a butterfly swimsuit, what the heck is going on?
I don't know. It's unfair. Life's unfair.
Life's over. It's a hard lesson.
Yeah, it is.
Good news, we found a mermaid swimsuit. She's okay. Oh man, that's
Yeah,
funny.
she's good.
Well, I think I told you she only has brothers. She's one of the triplets, and she has an older brother and 2 triplet brothers, so she's the only girl. And she's like, freaking all these men in this house. Get them out of here and get me a butterfly swimsuit.
So 2 directions, full tomboy or full girly girl.
Right, and she went full girly girl. Yeah. She went only mermaids, only butterflies, only unicorns. Yeah. That's why when I tell her mom that I'm gonna, borrow one of them, she's like, you can have one of the boys, but I'm keeping the girl. She has too many boys.
No.
3 boys is a lot of boys, babe.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is. That's rough.
Okay. The next thing he knew, he was lying on his back looking up at the hazy night sky. He stayed there for a moment and didn't move, waiting for his senses to catch up with him. There were 2 more flashes nearby and he felt thuds on the ground. Bree and Emmerich had landed beside him. Connor sat up to check on his friends and saw that they were as close to discombobulated as he was. Well, now we know the portal is definitely open, Connor said. Bree pulled herself up into a seated position. Is it always this rough getting here? She said. No, he said. I don't know why that was so tough. Emmerich was so dizzy he could barely speak. I don't think we're in Hoshemogen anymore, he said, and his head bobbed up and down. Connor got to his feet and looked at the forest around them. The trees were tall and their branches stretched wide into the sky, but they were bare of leaves and they almost looked dead. It was foggy, so he couldn't see too far into the distance. Bree got to her feet, too. So, this is it, huh? She asked. I mean, a part of it, Connor said, although I'm really not sure where. Emmerich tried to get to his feet, but he kept falling. Connor and Bree dragged him to the closest tree and propped him up against its trunk. Will one of you please tell me where I am? Emmerich asked. And what happened to Neuschwanstein? I told you it would be cooler than anything like being secret agents, Bree said playfully. We're in the fairy tale world, bud, Connor explained. We accessed a portal that was hidden inside Neuschwanstein Castle. Emmerich looked around the forest with large, amazed eyes. The fairy tale world? As in Snow White? Sleeping Beauty? Rapunzel? Yeah, they're all here, Connor said. My grandma and my sister live here, too. The portal between this world and ours had been blocked for a while, but a friend of mine asked me to check if it had been reopened. Well, here we are. Emmerich had so many questions, he didn't know what to ask first. Why did your friend ask you to check it? Was his question that he chose to go with. Well, to make sure some bad people couldn't get in, Connor said. Bree turned her head and looked at the forest around them. Speaking of, if we got through the portal into the fairy tale world, does that mean that the French bright lights abruptly flashed all around them? With each flash, something extremely heavy appeared in mid-air and crashed to the ground. Bree screamed when she realized that most of the objects were human. Connor was afraid something or someone would fall on them, and they looked for a place to take cover. Hurry, climb the tree, he yelled. They helped Emmerich to his feet, and the 3 of them dashed up the tree, climbing as high as they could. From the top of the tree, they got a better view of what was happening. It was as if a lightning storm had swept over the forest and was raining cannons and carriages and horses and swords and long-pointed guns and soldiers. It's the army, Connor whispered to his friends. They're here. The storm of soldiers didn't show any sign of letting up. From the top of the trees, the 3 kids saw the flashes in the fog for miles around. The hundreds of men and pieces of equipment that rained from the sky turned into thousands as the storm increased. Many soldiers barely missed being crushed by the carriages or cannons or horses that fell beside them. Eventually, the storm dissipated, and the thunderous crashes around the forest came to a stop. The sounds of thousands of men moaning and grunting took its place. The soldiers twitched and turned on the ground. They were 100 times as discombobulated as Connor, Bree, and Emmerich had been. Most of them held their heads in agony or vomited. They all wore black boots, white pants, and blue jackets. Most of them wore plain white hats, while others were decorated with colorful accessories and feathers representing their rank. They stayed on the ground for a long while without attempting to stand. One man appeared through the fog in the distance. He was smaller than the average man and wore a large curved hat. He gazed all around at the suffering soldiers with disgust. A musky cologne filled the air as he got closer to the tree where Connor, Bree, and Emmerich were hidden. Although Connor and Bree had never seen him before, they were certain he had to be General Jacques Marquis, whom Mother Goose had warned them about. The general appeared to have much stronger stomach than the soldiers and wasn't affected by the arrival. "De bien!" he shouted with anguish at the men on the ground. "Vous êtes un honte pour la France!" What did he say? Connor whispered to the others. "He says, stand up, you're an embarrassment to France," Emmerich translated. "You speak French?" Connor asked. "I can speak German, English, French, and Danish." Connor was floored. Wow, I'm still struggling with English. Bree covered their mouths with her hands. "This is not the time to be comparing party tricks," she snapped, and they both stayed quiet. Many of the soldiers stumbled to their feet as their general commanded. Emmerich quietly translated what they were saying for Connor and Bree. "Walk it off like men," the general told his nauseated soldiers. "This is nothing compared to the battle ahead." Another man appeared through the fog. He was very tall, and he was a broad man, with a rounded hat just like the general's, but it would turn to the side. "General Marquis, congratulations, we have arrived," Colonel Batten said. "Yes, Colonel, I can see that," the general barked. "But there is no use in congratulating me until we know exactly where we are." The two soldiers hurried through the forest to the general and the colonel. They were dragging another man who didn't look like a soldier at all. General Marquis, Colonel Baton," Captain Delange said. "We found someone." "This man was wandering through the forest when we arrived," Lieutenant Rumbart said. They pushed the weak old man onto the ground in front of General Marquis. He was terrified and looked around at the soldiers in complete shock. I saw you fall from the sky," he said, trembling. "What kind of magic is this?" The general had no time for his befuddlement. "Tell us where you are and where we are, and you may keep your life," he said. Why, you're in the Eastern Kingdom, sir," the old man said. Connor locked eyes with Bree. This was good information for them to know, too. "And what is nearby other than trees?" the general asked. The border of the fairy kingdom is west of here, but Pinocchio prison is closer, just to the east," the old man said. The general stepped closer to him, looking intrigued. "A prison, you say?" he said. Home to what kind of criminals?" The worst criminals in all the kingdoms," the old man said, surprised the general didn't know. General Marquis' forehead went smooth. The corner of his mouth curled to form a sinister smile. "Gentlemen," he said to his soldiers, "the gods have smiled down on us. Soon we shall have the fairy tale world in the palm of our hands. Napoleon will be so proud." The soldiers mustered up enough energy to cheer. You're here to take over the world?" the man asked. "Who are you people?" The general bent low to look at the man's eyes. "Unfortunately, you already know too much," he said. "Get rid of him." The old man screamed. Thank you, Kyle. Much appreciated. The old man screamed. "No, please, I have a family," he pleaded, but it was no use. The general didn't have an ounce of mercy to spare. Captain Delange and Lieutenant Rombard dragged the old man into the foggy woods, and his screams echoed through the trees around them. A moment later, a gunshot was heard, and the woods were silent again. Bree had to cover her mouth to keep from screaming. Emmerich gazed around the woods like he had found himself in a nightmare. Connor looked at them with a grave expression in his eyes. They had to stay as quiet as possible, or they could be next. "Colonel Baton, we need to regroup with our men immediately," the general instructed. "Half will stay in the woods and set up camp. The other half will accompany us to the prison. We strike at dawn." "What are we doing at the prison, sir?" Baton asked. "Recruiting," the general said. They walked back through the trees in the direction they had come from and disappeared into the fog. The other soldiers gathered their weapons that were scattered around the trees and hitched the horses to the wagons. They followed them into the woods. Connor, Bree, and Emmerich were the only ones left in the area. Connor gestured to the others to stay quiet as he climbed down the tree. Once he made sure that the coast was clear, he signaled for them to join him. "That poor old man," Emmerich said with his eyes full of tears. "I cannot believe the general would do that to him. I always thought if someone needed help, I could save them like a superhero in the movies. But I guess I was wrong." Bree placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. Connor's mind was racing as he thought about something the general had said. "Did you hear what he told the soldiers?" Connor asked the others. "He said, 'Napoleon will be so proud.'" The same thought had occurred to Brie. "Yeah," she said. Napoleon's been dead for like 200 years. I don't think they realize how long they were in the portal." "Then how do we know how long we were in the portal?" Emmerich asked. Connor and Brie looked at each other and chills went down their spine. Could they have been stuck in the portal for longer than they realized too? It was possible, all the more reason to find someone they knew as quickly as possible. Connor felt so guilty for exposing Brie and Emmerich to this, it almost brought tears to his eyes. He knew he should get them out of the land of stories as quickly as he could. "I'm not gonna lie, these guys are really scary," he said. "And right now, we need to get to the fairy palace pronto so I can warn my friends that the army is here. But once we're at the palace, I promise I'll find a way to send you guys back to the other world." Brie and Emmerich both nodded. "Now, follow me," Connor said. "We have to travel west into the fairy tale kingdom. We have to move fast." Yeesh. Well, that was rough reading on my part, and I apologize for my rough reading, but that chapter was really sad. So, that happened. The next chapter is chapter 15, A Bittersweet Reunion. But we're going to go have breakfast and then finish the slime room so that you all can see it. Because that is what we're doing today.
It's looking so organized already.
It's so pretty and so beautiful and so slimy. And it definitely is upgrading roll for slime.
We covered the whole floor in slime.
We did. And now you can walk on it when you come in. Very squishy. It had been carpet before, but we decided screw carpet, just slime.
We kept the carpet, we put slime on top.
Well, right. I wasn't going to rip it up just with slime on top, and the nails would poke through the slime. That doesn't make any sense.
We will never get out of the carpet.
White vinegar is pretty strong, babe.
Okay.
When is secret boyfriend coming to help organize my office? I'm supposed to come help organize your office.
I've been hired. You've been replaced.
I mean, it's Liz, so kind of.
It's Liz?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She said, why not both? Wait till May.
You're going to do that in May?
I don't know if we'll have time. We'll see.
The key is to just do it.
The other Liz said, I mean, I'm Liz too, but I guess Raccoon Liz works.
Only if you like that name. Raccoons are awesome, though. They're underrated.
I mean, she got your original special boy. How could she be anything but thrilled?
Special boy. What?
That's it. That's the whole thing.
It is. Okay.
All right. He is a special boy. Liz, you got to send us a picture of where he lives. And also, has Brandon found him yet? Like, what does he think of it? I imagine a toddler walking up to this amputated raccoon and being like, Mom, what is this? And why? That's how I envision it happening in my head. Oh, he has. He keeps asking what happened to its foot. Oh, it's amazing. Babe, if you were a little boy and you saw an amputated raccoon figurine on your mom's work desk, what would you have thought?
I probably would have grabbed it and just played with it.
Yeah? You wouldn't have even thought anything of it.
I don't know. I might have asked him about it.
Apparently her son asked. He said, what happened to its foot?
That's fun. You get to tell him a fun story.
Yeah.
Just make it up.
We don't know what happened to his foot. It came to us like that.
Probably a hunter's,
No.
But he escaped.
He did, with foot in tow.
Yeah, he escaped it. You patched him up. Now he's a special boy.
And now he's... Oh no. Have you found the So Slimy Crazy Sensations ASMR store-bought slime? Honey, I haven't even had time to look. I've been super busy. That would be the general assumption. Oh yeah, that would have been the assumption when you were kids. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go and do the thing. And we will be on at 5 p.m. for Roll for Slime and Customs. And hopefully by then you'll be able to see the new slime room. It should be great.